Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Maren
and I'm Maureen.
Yeah, so can you imagine this? A country in Africa that practices racism against other fellow Africans.
Unthinkable, right? But we recently stumbled upon this video where Africans are being discriminated upon because of their skin color, and not only Africans but citizens of this country.
So we are going to be reacting to this video, and we are going to be showing you people's experiences that was shot by a YouTuber about what they go through in this country. Let us know what you think about this video, and please stick around to hear people's experiences.
Yeah, and at the end of this video, please, you guys make sure to leave a message to the country Mauritius and what they can do better to change this situation.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a topic that might be a little bit sensitive, so try and hear me out before you make any comments. And by no way am I trying to paint this country as a bad country. I am just sharing my experience and the experience of my other African brothers as well, currently working, living and touring Mauritius. I just have to do it. I put out the Mauritius video and a lot of people send me messages about the experiences they are currently having in the country, and of course I experience this in my everyday travel, and sometimes I choose not to share it, but I'll just go ahead and share this.
My name is Samson Onsongo. I'm from Kenya and I'm working in Mauritius.
I'm Moses Biamukama. I'm Ugandan.
Okay, first of all, as a travel vlogger, sometimes I get why he usually doesn't talk about most of his bad experiences when he travels. It can be a bit tricky, especially if you're trying to paint a picture of a united Africa and you go to a certain country in Africa where you're treated like being black is a crime, Yeah, so let's...
And you like, I never thought this would be happening here in Africa, especially an African country treating African people like that. But for some reason, Mauritius, anyway, such kind of videos are good because they
bring awareness, and right now
they shed light into what's happening in that country.
Yeah, so maybe hopefully they'll do better after more content creators keep talking about these videos,
And I'd really love to know, why do they treat other African countries like this?
Not only other African countries, even black people in their own country. It's so bad.
Okay, let's keep watching the video.
I studied in Mauritius and I'm now working here.
My name is Razak and I'm a Nigerian expat in Mauritius.
Hi, I'm Natalie from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm currently studying IT in Mauritius.
My name is Doreen Kambanga. I am a Tanzanian living and working, also studying in Mauritius.
My name is Destiny. I'm in Mauritius from Nigeria. I'm currently studying IT.
So Mauritius is sold as a tropical paradise, a luxury destination, the most liberal economy, and the most competitive in sub-Sahara Africa. The second highest GDP per capita, second strongest passport. This country has developed from a low-income agricultural-based economy to an upper-middle-income diverse economy with growing industrial, financial, and tourist sector. 4 months ago, I was in Seychelles and I made a travel documentary, and when I posted it, a lot of people say, hey Steven, you need to check Mauritius out. I was like, okay, cool. They explained to me how Mauritius is like a bigger island, offers more, and it's a little bit cheaper than Seychelles. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, visit this country. And
up until that point, how he explains it, from Seychelles going to Mauritius, it had been given quite a bit of a good press because of its affordability compared to Seychelles, and also because of the big island compared to Seychelles. But then where does the racism come in or start when you go to Mauritius?
that was how I started doing my research. I'm traveling with a very weak passport, which is the Nigerian green passport. So when I arrived at the immigration officer was like, "What are you here to do?" with a very aggressive tone. My mind already was ready for it. I tried to tell him over and over again, this is what I'm here to do. At that point, he wasn't even asking me for my accommodation and every other document that he's supposed to ask me for. He was like, what are you here to do? What do you do? Are you here alone? Maybe thought I'm fishy, but after a while asking me questions, looking at my name and stuff, he recognized a video that I had done in Seychelles. From that point, he became, less aggressive, was now smiling. I left and I went to the custom guys, which was not very fun actually. It's really sad to say, but every black person on that flight was stopped and search.
The racial
One thing I want to know is why though? Why? Like, you're an African country. Just let us, I don't know, maybe people from Mauritius understand them better. Let us know why other African people are getting this, not just African, but black people are getting this kind of harsh treatment. What happened? What is the history of Mauritius and black people, colored people? Like, you're an African country. I don't understand.
Some would argue that Stephen was treated like this because he's Nigerian and he holds a green passport, but of which Nigeria is known for a lot of things, mostly online scam, and you'd get why they'd be treated like this. But this is a case whereby not only Stephen was treated like this, but every black person that alighted from the flight that he was in, you know.
And I thought this was just a racism thing against black, but later on in this video, as you'll get to see, even a white South African female was treated in the same manner. So which begs the question, why are Africans being treated like that, but most especially black people in Mauritius, you know?
Yeah, because white people are really being given like the first class citizen treatment, you know.
So like, if you're coming from Mauritius, let us know your experience. Would like to hear from you what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
profiling at the airport, that one I can also attest to it. It's not really good. I've had people who are like, I'm not coming back here just because of this experience. In my opinion, I feel like if you're white in Mauritius, you get away with anything easily.
Now this makes me feel like, you know, I've never been to Mauritius, and if you'd ask me what country I'd like to visit, definitely it would check one of the boxes. But hearing what I'm hearing now,
it makes you,
it's really discouraging me from going, because why would I go to a country which is going to discriminate me and treat me badly, you know?
Like at the immigration, like I noticed there was not a single white person that was stopped. Every black person, most of them that were stopped to check were black people. Well, if you're white in Mauritius, you could probably come in something illegal.
I mean, it's normal for custom to search your bag, but you know when someone is trying to search your bag, like they are very convinced something is in that bag, up to the point of like, what is that? You'll be like, it's a trouser. Put their hands in the pocket and trying to. If this was done to everybody, I would really understand, but it was done to the black guys, me inclusive. But my case was a little bit, it was easy, because when they looked at my bag, they saw camera lenses, they looked at my carry-on camera lenses, and the guy was like, what do you do? I showed him. He no question asked, he allowed me to go. But I am 0.001% of the other type of Africans that want to travel to this country.
I came from Tanzania from holiday. I don't know if it's the customs officer. I saw him allowing most of the tourists to pass through, and when it came to me, all of a sudden, you know, he stopped me, and then he started questioning me, like, what are you doing here? How much do you have? When I gave him the answers, he was still not satisfied with that, so he separated me from the rest of the group that was coming out of the airport, and he put all my belongings, like from hand luggage to my carry-ons, into the scanner.
This is not funny, but for some reason, when I hear this lady explain her situation, how she was pulled aside, you know, for some reason it has just reminded me about the Sarafina movie, you know. I guess because of the oppression of the, you know,
and
lesser people.
The funny thing is that these are not white people who are doing this to them anymore.
It's an African country.
Yeah, man, like these are black people doing this to fellow black people. Like, wow, you know, what's wrong with you guys?
And then he was like, no, we need to unwrap everything and just, you know, search everything. So he opened all my bags and then started, you know, searching every single nook and cranny of my bag, like removing maybe like clothes, underwears, everything that I packed, basically, to see what was inside. I had brought some food stuff from home, so he collected everything, and then he called his colleague. He's like, look at this person bringing these things to our country. She wants to bring diseases into our country. He was like, what do your parents do? Which is, you know, questions that
that's a very insultive statement.
So you guys just know, not for every case, but just a few cases. If you go with your native food to Mauritius, you'll be bringing diseases to them. At least that is what this guy implied when he searched the Tanzanian woman's luggage.
No one is supposed to ask you. I was like, my mom is a teacher and my father is a diplomat. He's like, well, also you have a diplomatic passport? I was like, yes, but I don't usually travel with this. Like,
wow, so this is a daughter of a diplomat, but she doesn't travel with her diplomatic passport. that's humble of her. I mean, I think, just my personal opinion, to avoid this kind of fracas in the airport, if I have such power, why not use it? I mean, let us know what you think in the comment section.
But you shouldn't have to even think about
using it,
especially when you're in a continent,
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, oh, so next time you should come with it, else I wouldn't have, taken your stuff. So that, contradicted with what he was saying. Like, if I had the diplomatic passport, the things that I brought were not going to bring diseases in the country. I had brought like plantain, I brought scotch bonnet peppers, just those.
So if you had a diplomatic passport,
yeah,
they never would have checked your bag,
yeah,
never would have asked you any question, and they would have let you pass like the other tourists.
Exactly. And then he took a bag full of all the food stuff that I brought, and then they took it to their collection desk. He's like, now follow me. He didn't even have the audacity, to close the bag or anything like that. So I had taken a whole 1 hour with that man inside since I had landed and everything. Well, I would tell him that, there's someone waiting for me, he's calling me outside, to collect me. Yeah. He's like, don't touch your phone, I'm talking to you right now. He wasn't even talking. I cried. Like, oh my God. When I came out of that airport, I was literally shaking. I did not believe what happened. To be honest with you, I did not see it as racism. I just saw it as discrimination. Yeah, looking back now, is racism.
The first experience you get when you're stepping into a country kind of ruins the experience for you.
I came with a friend. They said, one, you're a Nigerian and you came via Kenya Airways, so we have to check because, in your country, there are a lot of things going on there. The most difficult part of being in Mauritius is being a Nigerian.
Mauritius is a visa-free country, but for Nigeria...
Although I feel like Nigerians really have it rough everywhere, not just in Mauritius.
Not just
I'm not defending that.
Even in our country, Kenya, Nigerians have it rough, especially, as I mentioned before, because of their history and also just the ongoing scams online that they perform. Most of them perform.
Nigeria and some other African countries, you only get 14 days, while the European, American, they can stay in the country for more than 6 months. I mean, I met these guys from Netherlands and they're like, oh, they've been in the country for a while, they don't even know when they're leaving. Now, an African person cannot do that, which is very sad in an African country when you come to think about it. I had to rush my production, the guy literally...
No, that is really sad because it's like you're working effortlessly to try and chase other Africans from your country, you understand? This is where I thank our president. One thing he's gotten right is the Pan-Africanism that he's trying to create
a borderless Kenya and ultimately Africa.
Yeah. So at least with Kenya, we're very much lucky, and also for foreigners, we're welcoming foreigners as of January. People don't need visas to come to. If you're
Kenya.
black, you don't need a visa to come to Kenya.
So long as you got the right documentations and a passport, I think.
Yeah, you can come to Kenya. But for Mauritius, if you're a black person going to Mauritius, you're going. These are the kind of
the countries that don't require visas. Some of them are allowed to stay there for only 14 days, and then you're out of the country. But if you compare that to white people who are visiting Mauritius without a visa, then they're allowed to stay for up to 6 months
or even more.
So you guys tell me why is it like this?
So guys, let us know what you think about this video. Of course, you cannot post the whole entire video, but from the little footage that we've played for you,
I think you've seen what the kind of racism that's going on in Mauritius,
or rather racism, or if you want to call it discrimination, I don't know. So let us know what you think about this video.
But I think my parting words to Mauritius would be, y'all need to do better. The government of Mauritius, they need to do better, Yeah, at least I don't know, y'all just need to do better.